Namaste, beautiful souls, coming at you on this very hot and humid day in my neck of the woods. Whew, I'm just so grateful the sun is shining because the negative agenda has been really up in the ante on those chemtrails lately. So we are moving in, many of you hear me speak of very often, a solar activation plasma cycle that is coming our way right now into 2026 to 2028, that is going to be pulsing in the inner earth grids, the crystalline grids, the crystal taverns, the halls of Amenti, and our light body. This event is something that the world, the humans, the starseeds, and the negative agenda have been anticipating for eons of time. So everything that you see happening on the planet, all the amplification of everything, whether it's warfare, negative news, chemtrails, all of the things are going to be on hyperdrive and warp speed because we are moving into this activation cycle that simultaneously the negative agenda is trying to hijack. So because we live in a polarity system, right, we are simultaneously riding two timelines. As I mention often, we are riding the Ascension, the organic Ascension timeline, and the AI inorganic false light Ascension timeline. Okay, so you're going to see an amplification of so many things happening on Earth. Now, one of the things is that I wanted to cover here today is about a week ago, I had posted something about the Stargates, the spiritual warfare happening on planet Earth. Now, I've been talking about this spiritual warfare for about 15 years now, and I want everybody to understand that the Middle East, Iraq, Iran, Israel, Palestine, that whole area over there is a very sacred land, as many of you know, okay? What we do need to understand is that these are sacred stargates as well over there. So Temple Mount in Jerusalem is the 2D stargate on planet Earth that is linked up to the 2D stargate in Sarasota, Florida. This is called a grail or a grail point stargate. This is where the consciousness enters the planet. These are very, very important stargates. There's also a very important stargate that is really important for our ascension timeline, for the shift in our ascension in Iraq and Iran on the border. That is the 10D Stargate, okay? Whoever controls the Stargates on planet Earth, this is the Earth's Templar system, okay? Many of you may have heard of, like, you know, the Knights Templar, right? That was the inversion of the true Christos Templars. So like Yeshua and a lot of other masters and benevolent beings who have been on planet Earth were the true Templars of this planet. They were the grail holders, the gatekeepers, okay, that were holding the DNA codes and the keys that would have access to these stargates. Now, the negative agenda, since the beginning of time, have tried to control these stargates. And so they have been controlling these stargates for a very long time. But because we are on the Ascension timeline now and we're moving into a completely different shift on planet Earth, they are losing control of these stargates. And their only goal is to remain in control and power of these stargates. We need to reclaim these gates. They are a part of Earth's life, part of her architecture. It is chakras, a light body, ley lines, meridians, a brain. We are intrinsically connected to the planet with having a light body, a heart, chakras, these energy systems, right? So the Templar system of planet Earth literally is the motherboard that runs this planet. It's the instruction sets, the blueprint that runs this entire planet. And these are also portals that lead us in and out of dimensions and parallels. And, you know, we have the planetary gates, we have cosmic gates, and we also have universal gates. And these stargates can take you in and out of these different portals. Now, I know some of you who might not have heard of this before, this can sound very sci-fi. And our reality is definitely sci-fi. It definitely is. I know it's crazy because a lot of truth is coming out right now that so many people haven't, haven't really opened their mind to. So I want everybody to keep an open mind, but I also just want you to understand that that side of the world, okay, Israel, the sacred lands where, Yeshua and Mary Magdalene came through, these are very, very sacred lands. And a lot of the beings over there that have been unfortunately being killed, are carrying very sacred DNA. This is part of what was called the Hebrew starseed tribe. A lot of these souls over there whose lives have unfortunately been taken in the recent years are carrying a lot of the Yeshua and Mary Magdalene DNA coding, the Christos coding, the Hebrew codings. This is part of that genocide to eradicate, all of the original grail keepers, the original human angelic tribes on the planet that are carrying these key codes that literally have access to these stargates. So there are 12 human tribes on planet Earth. We are all key coded to specific stargates. There are 12 stargates on planet Earth. I will do a post after this that is listing the exact locations of the stargates so that you understand, because I know there's a lot of confusion. Each human tribe, 12 tribes, original 12 tribes, are key coded to these specific stargates, and we're each holding an activated strand of DNA to that stargate, and we're also holding a key that accesses and opens that stargate. Now, a lot of the negative agenda, the fallen Anunnaki, the Draconians, the Reptilians, the Zetas, they are not key coded. They do not have the Christos architecture blueprint that we hold. So they do not have direct access through their bodies to be able to access these stargates. So what they have to do is they have to invert the coding. They invert using what's called Metatronic reversal, and they invert and hijack the grid so that they can access it. And they use AI and artificial intelligence to get the job done. So part of what we're going through on planet Earth is the terraforming that has been happening actually of this simulation that we've been living in. It's a fallen matrix. It's a phantom matrix. It has been a simulation because the negative agenda hijacked the original creational code, the God code, and they manipulated it with artificial code. And so right now, during these times of ascension, the guardian founder races, the Elohai, the Elohim, the Seraphi, the Seraphim, the Azarites, the Melchizedek cloisters, our founders are reclaiming their domain. Earth is their domain. This whole entire solar system is their domain. It is called the Universal Time Matrix, and it has been hijacked, and we are reclaiming it during these times. Us starseeds and light workers, those that are carrying the original grail codes, we came here to reclaim this planet, to reclaim our sovereignty, and to ascend to the next timeline. And so we are living in a bifurcated reality right now. It's a very blended reality between AI and organic ascension. And all of these things are happening. And it's very wild. It's very confusing. But I just wanted to make that clear. Whoever controls the Stargates, whoever controls the Templar system, controls the planet. They've also hijacked the planetary logos, which is the planetary brain. And they insert inverted technology in there and a inverted template that has codes and instruction sets. That's how we've been living in this simulation. So everything that you see playing out, okay, is all a part of this end times spiritual warfare agenda for them to remain in full control of planet Earth. And they need to try to remain in control because a lot of them have already hybridized themselves with AI. And so that's all I'm going to cover for now, but just know that every single thing you see playing out all has to do with this ascension timeline and the negative agenda trying to remain control, trying to remain in control of the Stargates. Okay, this is a very ancient war coming to a head, but the light is here. There is no turning back. Stay centered in your light, stay fearless, stay sovereign, stay in love, stay compassionate, and sign up for my Codes of Light newsletter at schoolofdivinemastery.org. I love you all so much, and I will see you soon.